I have told some of you that you should listen and hear from the government of Biafra. Whatever they tell you to do, that's what you should do. And if you listen to our Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, in this video here now, he said everything about Mazi Nnamdi. Please try to watch this video to the end. And as you are watching the video, give it like, share the video, say your opinion under the comment section, and subscribe and turn on your notification button in this channel. Please just listen. Everything that you need to know about our leader Mazi Nnamdi, everything is being stated here. Please don't do anything if the government of Biafra did not tell you to do. Don't go if government of Biafra did not tell you to go. So thank you and God bless you. Let's watch.
To do, which is trying to raise the funds. Trying to raise the funds to help our people. And today we have added one person into the list of our humanitarian aid, which is Mazi Nnamdi, who has at least over 3,000 people that depend on him every day for feeding allowance. So those 3,000 Biafrans has been added to the list of the United States of Biafra humanitarian aid. An extra 3,000 has been added today as we speak to the list of the humanitarian aid has in one way been helped by Mazi Nnamdi in the past. But as of yesterday, when the terrorist state of Nigeria has taken him away and locked him up, which is their norm, another 3,000 homeless, indigenous Nigerians and Biafrans has been added to the list, to the humanitarian list of the United States of Biafra government. And we are going to take care of them. The United States of Biafra government, the United States of Biafra people will not let these people die. We will not let their children be out of school. We will not let their family members not get the medical help they need. That is why this humanitarian fundraising must be intensified and must continue. Again, today, dear friends, I know many of us are not in our normal mood. Many of us have seen the intimidation, the subjugation, the forceful removal, the marginalization, the killing by Tinubu and the delegitimized Southeast governors in Biafra land and to Biafran people. We've seen that in the past 48 to 72 hours, starting from their shambolic trial against our leader, Nnamdi, to the script read by Justice Amato, the script written by the Fulani jihadist terrorists to stop the restoration of Biafra. Be not deceived. This judgment has nothing to do with Nnamdi. Anyone telling you that the judgment delivered by the Fulani terrorist government of Nigeria against Nnamdi is about Nnamdi, that means you are not following. That means you are not following. This judgment has nothing to do with Nnamdi. This judgment has something to do with the restoration, protection, and declaration of the independent state of the United States of Biafra. Nothing more, nothing less. That is what it is about. Do not be deceived. Do not be carried away. Do not personalize this judgment. It's not about Nnamdi. When you begin to personalize that, then you're making a mistake. This judgment is not about Nnamdi. Just like the judgment Alexander Stubb did to Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Finland, it is not about Simon Ekpa. And I'm very, very happy that thousands of Biafrans and Igbos are realizing that as we speak. It's not about them. It's not about them. Anyone that is telling you, I am going to go and kill myself because Nnamdi Kanu has been taken away, don't do that. Do not make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. It's not about Nnamdi Kanu. What the terrorist state of Nigeria wants you to do is to distract you by taking away Nnamdi Kanu. And then you will be like, hell is going to let loose. What's up? No. We, Biafrans, we've passed that level. Where we are at this time surpasses the removal of Nnamdi Kanu. And I'm very, very happy to see some of the silent voices in Biafra land talking at this time. That is courtesy to the United States of Biafra government. We want them to talk. We want Biafrans to be part of the protection and the independence of Biafra. We want them to talk about it. We want the world to see what the terrorist state of Nigeria is doing. We want everyone to talk about that. That is happening. That is 100% success for the United States of Biafra government. We are winning this game. Do not be distracted. Do not be distracted. The judgment by Tinubu against Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu is nothing except to stop Biafran people from stopping our freedom, to scare us, to allow Tinubu and his cohorts to continue to milk the oil from Biafra land, from the southeast and south part of Nigeria without us stopping. That is what this judgment is all about. Any of you that have not seen that, that means you've not been following. This judgment is not about Nnamdi Kanu. This judgment is about, on November the 29th, 2025, every Biafran will sit at home. We will shut down the whole Biafra land. That is what it is about. Tinubu is fighting all of us here because he knows we've gotten Biafra, because he knows we have the independent state of Biafra. That is what Tinubu is fighting, nothing more. He knows that the United States of Biafra people has declared their independence on November the 29th, 2024 in Lati, Finland. He knows that the United States of Biafra people has decided to exit that enclave called Nigeria. Tinubu knows that the United States of Biafra people do not want to live in a country that reintegrates non-terrorists into the country, hire them into the military and police, give them AK-47 to go after those that dare to question the Islamization of Nigeria. That is what it is about. The earlier you know this, the better you stop making noise. We don't make noise. No, we don't make noise. The game to protect. We already restored our nation. There are no two ways about that. The Nigerian state is currently occupying a foreign land. They must leave our land. They will leave our land. We have peacefully returned to them. As a neighboring state, we will make them leave Biafra land. There are no two ways about that. So I think all of you that have joined in today, I want to use this opportunity to let Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu know that, and let the world know. Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime at all, not even one. All those trumped up charges that Omotosho heaped on him. Omotosho is a Yoruba. All the panel in that judgment, in that courtroom, they were all Yorubas. Tinubu planted his men to make sure that what he wanted was achieved. But the message I'm telling Tinubu is that the United States of Biafra is a sovereign nation. He must withdraw his men from Biafra land. I don't care the problem, the issue, the judges he has assembled to try Nnamdi Kanu's case. What we, the United States of Biafra government, what I am telling him is that his country is currently occupying a foreign land and they must withdraw. They must withdraw their men from Biafra territory. Every military barracks belong to Biafran people. The police stations belong to the Biafran people. We have our military, we have our police, we have our civil corps, we have the 40 states of Biafra governors and their commissioners working day and night to make Biafra land one of the best countries in the world. anything in Nigeria, anything by Nigeria, anything by Tinubu at this time in Biafra land, I am telling you to leave Biafra land immediately. Immediately, because you are currently occupying a foreign land. So I want to use this opportunity, all of us, we all witnessed the shambolic trial conducted by the Nigerian state against Onyendo Mazi Nnamdi, whom the Nigerian state kidnapped from Kenya, renditioned him to Nigeria without going through the normal process of the law. Nigeria is a lawless state. They don't obey any rule of law. They don't respect human rights. I'm using this opportunity to call the Commonwealth, African Union, United Nations to immediately expel Nigeria from these noble organizations. They must do that to maintain the integrity of these bodies. Because Nigeria is a lawless state. It's a state that does not follow or obey the rule of law. It's a state that do not care about these organizations. We all witnessed when they sentenced our Onyendo, Tinubu, through his prosecutor, said that Nnamdi Kanu has a right to self-determination, but the self-determination does not surpass the law of the Nigerian state. So, do not become a member of the United Nations, of the African Union, of the Commonwealth. Those basic laws, international humanitarian laws, self-determination laws, human rights laws, Nigeria signed to obey those laws. But when they want to administer justice against Christians in Nigeria, against indigenous Nigerians, they try to separate the law, to tell United Nations, the Commonwealth, the African Union, you can go to hell. They try to tell us Nigeria is an independent nation and therefore they can kill everyone there. And United Nations or African Union or Commonwealth do not have any rights to talk. That's exactly what Tinubu is doing. But the United States of Biafra is a sovereign state. We will show Tinubu that his men are currently occupying a foreign land, which is the United States of Biafra, and they must leave the United States of Biafra territory, the 40 states. Because you cannot negotiate with a lawless nation. You cannot negotiate with somebody who does not even have a clue what human rights is, what the respect for law, what the respect for the lives and properties of the indigenous citizens are. You cannot negotiate anything with them. They are a bunch of lawless individuals. How can you negotiate with a terrorist? When you have Tinubu and almost all the people in the Nigerian cabinet are mostly terrorists, reintegrated terrorists. What are you going to negotiate with them? How are you going to talk with them? That is not going to be feasible. The only language Tinubu and Nigeria understand is violence. You must use violence to get the results and make them sane. They are insane bunch of human beings that are ruling Nigeria. That which they want to use, we will make sure that we show them the right way to be a civil nation. We all witnessed the shambolic trial where Tinubu has sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to the death sentence. He actually sentenced him to hanging in public squad. He sentenced him to public firing squad. That is what Tinubu has sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to. So this one, they are talking about life sentence. Do not be carried away by that. Almost all the Christians in Nigeria go through the same firing squad by Tinubu and his cohorts. Almost all of them. They sentence them to death. Death by hanging. How do they do that? So they can scare me and you, so that you will stop talking about Biafra, so that we will stop talking about our independence, so we'll stop talking about the protection of our land. That is the only reason. That is what Tinubu and his cohorts, that's what they've done to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime. This was somebody that a few years ago was propagating the terrorism in Nigeria, propagating and canceling the reintegration of terrorists in Nigeria, because he knows the continuous reintegration of terrorists into the Nigerian state, which is a standing policy of the Nigerian government, has made Nigeria one of the most dangerous countries in the world for Christians to live. These are facts. This is a fact. We Biafrans, we just want to tell Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, we already know how this is going to end. Do not be moved. Do not be moved. You'll be out from that place very, very soon. The United States of Biafra, as a country, as a government, will ensure that you, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, is out from that prison as quickly as possible. Is our promise. Do not be moved. I want to use this opportunity to talk to you all about our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, who colluded, who the Finland government colluded with the Nigerian government to conduct a shambolic trial, just the same thing, shambolic trial. And they sentenced our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, to less than 2 years in prison. Trust me, RPM is coming out very soon. But I want the world to know that it is the same subjugation, intimidation, killing, locking up of Christians by the Nigerian Islamized state, Islamized country. They remove any Christian that opposes that Islamization agenda. Tinubu can never, ever, ever do anything to stop the killing of Christians in Nigeria. And we thank Donald Trump and the American government for designating Nigeria a country of particular concern. It should be worse. Even as we speak, within the last 24 to 48 hours, over 315 innocent students has been kidnapped by these terrorists that were brought into Nigeria by Tinubu and the Nigerian politicians. Even as we speak, this has nothing to do with the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. This is Nigeria. This is what they've been doing. This is what they live. Nothing has changed. The only thing that will come is the dissolution, the destruction of this entity called Nigeria. Every world leader must put hands together to make sure that this entity called Nigeria is dissolved immediately, so that the indigenous can live, so that Christians can live. Nothing else can stop these killings, these kidnaps. Nothing. There is nothing. There is nothing like giving them any opportunity to improve. There is nothing to improve. This thing happening by the second is Nigeria, and it must crumble for people to live. No one should be deceived that there is nothing or that there is something that is going to happen. Forget all that. When you see the Nigerian state running helter-skelter, we saw some of them in America, running helter-skelter to pretend as if there's any action they're going to take. It is beyond their capacity. They can't do anything. Because you cannot reintegrate non-terrorists into your country and you expect that they will change one day. That's not going to happen. There is an agenda of the terrorists. And what is their agenda? Islamize the whole country. That is exactly what is going on right now. Any world leader that thinks anything is going to change, that's not going to happen. Do not believe them. They do not have the capacity. I'm calling on all world leaders to make sure you make the world a better place. You sign that when you become member nation of the United Nations, of the African Union, of the Commonwealth, of the European Union, to report human rights abuses and make sure you stop those human rights abuses. That is exactly what Nigeria is doing by the second, by the minute. You must stop that. Regardless of any economic gain you have from Nigeria at this point is on the blood of indigenous Nigerians. And you must stop that immediately. Find other sources to build your country. Find other ways to develop your country, not on the blood of indigenous Nigerians. So we want to use this opportunity to also let the world know that our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, has not committed any crime. His only crime was to stop what Tinubu and the reintegrated terrorists are doing. That is it. His only crime is to stop the thousands of innocent Christians that are murdered by the Nigerian state using the reintegrated terrorists, whom they are very comfortable with. Nigeria has a standing policy to reintegrate non-terrorists. No one can stop that. Those terrorists come in and murder Christians in their thousands. Every world leader, you must put hands together to destroy that entity called Nigeria, to dissolve that entity called Nigeria, so that the indigenous people can go their separate ways and start building their lives together. Failure to do that You are contributing by the second to the murdering and massacre of thousands of Christians in that enclave called Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to let our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Simon Njoku, do not be moved. For that which you seek, we already got. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, is not a terrorist. Biafrans are not terrorists. Mazi Nnamdi is not a terrorist. That label of terrorism is what the Nigerian state and their globalist companions, that is what they label us to kill us. We are not terrorists. We are not terrorist financiers. If you are a world leader and you believe in that criminality, in that labeling of innocent Biafrans as terrorists, just like the Nigerian state, Tinubu has done, then you are contributing to make the world a very bad place, and you need to stop immediately. I want to use this opportunity to thank the United States of Biafra cabinet members. There is only one leadership, only one government for the whole 80 million Biafrans at this point, which is the United States of Biafra government, led by my humble self, Dr. Orabueze, and the United States of Biafra cabinet. Nothing else exists anywhere. Anyone telling you anything different, they are fraudulent, deceiving themselves. They can talk to you about the pains of Biafran people. They can discuss with you about what the Biafran people have gone through. They can discuss with you about the freedom of Biafran people. But when it comes to the legal United States of Biafra, legal Biafra land, it must underline, be under the United States of Biafra government and the United States of Biafra cabinet, whom we all met in Lati, Finland on November the 29th, 2024. We declared our independence after over 1,500 Biafrans flew from different parts of the world to converge in Finland and declare and ratify our independence. That is the only legal acceptable document for the Biafran people at this time. Anything outside this is fake. Do not let them deceive you. They do not have any legal document for the declaration and independence of Biafran people. Only the United States of Biafra has those documents. So you can help anyone. You can support the independence of Biafra in any way, shape, or form. We truly appreciate that. But when it comes to the building of Biafra people, it must be done under the United States of Biafra government. That is the only government that over 80 million Biafrans support at this time. So those of you that have been on any social media that seek for the legal document, you can contact me. My number is 770-329-7339. Again, that number is 770-329-7339. If you have any questions, you request any documents, you are confused, you are not sure of what is going on, contact me and I'll give you the information, the documents you need. And again, I thank all those people that have been seeing the evil of Tinubu and that entity called Nigeria. And I thank those of you that have said this cannot continue. I want to thank His Excellency, our President Donald Trump, for what you do. You and your cabinet, thank you so much for what you do by the minute, by the second, to ensure that the world is made a better place. By placing Nigeria on the list of countries of particular concern, and also in furtherance, strict, very tight sanctions against Nigerian politicians and the dissolution of that entity called Nigeria. The United States of Bafra is already gone. Under my leadership, Dr. Orabueze, we are already building our allies, and we will ensure that terrorism does not thrive in that part of the world. In the southeast and south of Nigeria, we already locked it up under the United States of Biafra government. Thank you so much, Donald Trump. Thank you so much, Melania Trump. And thank you so much for the Trump family for what you do to ensure that this massacre, this killing of Christians is brought to a stop. Nobody else can do that except you. I'm telling you, I promise you. That was why the Nigerian government fought. They fought the election of Donald Trump during the 2024 election. Tinubu and co, they fought tooth and nail because they know that Donald Trump can never be alive, and Christians are murdered by their seconds in that enclave called Nigeria. That was why they wanted the Democrats to win that election. But God, in His infinite mercy, knows He knows and he heard the cry of indigenous Biafrans. That was why Biafrans came out in their thousands to support the leadership of President Trump, and the needful has to be done to ensure, to send a lesson to any other country in the world, not just Nigeria, those countries in the world that thinks they can continue to kill innocent Christians by the minute, by the second, without any remorse. That must stop. And from the actions of the American government, the United States of Biafran government will ensure that this stops. I promise you, it will stop. We will build one of the best countries in the world that will confront the terrorists. We will ensure no terrorist will thrive in Biafra land. It is a promise, I'm telling you. I want to use this opportunity to let the world know the sentencing of Ngozi Nnamdi by Tinubu to life imprisonment is a clear signal that Tinubu and his co, their major target is to continue to murder the Christians. Nnamdi is a Christian. What Nnamdi called for, Sunday Igboho called for that. Sheikh Gumi is calling for that. Has Tinubu locked them up for life? No. Sunday Igboho is working as a free man today. Sheikh Gumi is working as a free man today. But Nnamdi Tinubu has locked him up for life because he is a Christian. Because he to stop the of Christians in Nigeria. So let no one be deceived about this criminality of the Nigerian state, which they've carried out on Ngozi Nnamdi. All those things they've mentioned in Nnamdi did. This is what the Nigerian state is doing by the second. The EndSARS March, Nigerian state murdered many innocent indigenous Nigerians, but they denied it. They sent their police and military to murder. Even as of recent, just the End Bad Governance, which the march that was carried out a few months ago, Nigerian government, Tinubu sent out the military, because he uses this reintegrated military and police to murder many indigenous Nigerians in Sokoto, in Kaduna, in Kano. Many innocent indigenous Nigerians were killed by this same Tinubu because they marched against bad governance. Unarmed indigenous Nigerians were murdered. Many young children, women murdered by Tinubu. Who are you? You dare not speak out. That's exactly what Tinubu did. So I'm not even going to talk about the EndSARS, where they killed many indigenous children, undergraduates, and they denied until the committee that was set up to look into that now discovered that Tinubu and co, they killed many indigenous Nigerians that just came out unarmed just to march against the reintegration of non-terrorists in their country, against the bad governance, against the Nigerian police that stop and search innocent people, take them away forcefully and kill them. We never see them again. That is what Tinubu and the Nigerian politicians are doing by the second. Forget the 44 legislators. They say, oh, they signed for the release of Nnamdi. Tinubu and this delegitimized politician and all the Nigerian politicians, all of them put their signature to reintegrate non-terrorists into Nigeria. All of them, they are all the same. Do not be deceived by any of them that is telling you anything different. That is why Nigeria must crumble for indigenes to live. I want to use this opportunity to let Biafrans, genuine Biafrans, know that what the Nigerian state has done to Nnamdi, they can do it to any of you. Do not think it's just about Nnamdi. Those of you that were perambulating, romancing the Nigerian state because you have a business in Kano, Kaduna, and that's what they used to deceive the world. Oh, I have my business in Kano. It's one Nigeria. I have my business in Kano, Kaduna, Abuja. Your children will suffer worse case scenario than Nnamdi. I promise you that if you don't do anything now. Your children, your grandchildren will suffer more than Nnamdi from the Nigerian state. Mm-hmm. So when I keep saying it's not about Nnamdi, some people, they don't understand that. Those of you that are on the sideline, those of you, you label Nnamdi, oh, he's a terrorist, blah, blah, blah. Those of you, Biafrans, apart from the delegitimized governors who are just trying to make sure that they continue to retain their political position, those people, they're just a tip of the iceberg. Those of you, the legitimized politicians that sell your brother because you want to maintain your political position, how far? How far for some of you? Representative members in Nigeria have signed to release Nnamdi. How far? You, Bianca, no, you're jumping from one pillar to post one pillar to post. You're part of those that were saying, oh, Nnamdi is doing it well. Simon Ekpa is not doing it well. Bring Simon Ekpa, kill him, jail him. You even from Nigeria, you send witnesses to Finland court to bear false witness against Simon Ekpa. Where are you today? You and Uchechi Kanu, they promise you that once they get Simon Ekpa, now the Kanu will be released. Now, how far? How far? What's it going? You give us the Kanu now. At least you met Alexander Stott to jail Simon Ekpa. Really? Less than 2 years, he will soon be out. So, Tinubu that promise you, if you bring Simon Ekpa, Nnamdi Kanu will be out. How far? Right under your watch. Where is Nnamdi Kanu today? What you don't know is bigger than you. Some of you, you don't get it. You don't get it. But I believe now you will start getting it small, because I'm hearing some of the silent voices before. Some of them are rising up. Some of them are now talking. These are talks. When Simon Ekpa was talking, you all saw him as a bad guy. When Nnamdi Kanu was talking, you all saw him as a bad guy. Now some of you are waking up every day to now realize what they were saying in the past. You are waking up gradually to see that it's not about Nnamdi Kanu, it's not about Simon Ekpa, it's about the continuous milking of the natural resources from our zone, from our Biafra land, by Tinubu and the Fulani bourgeois, and using it to ship it abroad to their allies, whom they are subservient to, while they continue to enrich their purses to the detriment of millions of indigenous Nigerians and millions of indigenous Biafrans. That is what it's all about. Your own child, if you do not rise up now against this injustice, against this marginalization, against this forceful removal, against this killing, if you all Biafrans and indigenous Nigerians, if you don't rise up now against this injustice, it will happen to your own children and grandchildren. So those of you that have been on the sideline that says, oh, I was following Nnamdi Kanu, I'm not going to do anything until Onyendu comes out. How far? What are you going to do now? Mbano say to go. Tell us what you're going to do. Do it. Don't call Dr. Orabueze or the United States of Biafra. You do it. You are going to wait for Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. He gave you this assignment. You are not going to follow Dr. Orabueze because he's Dr. Orabueze. I'm going to only Simon Ekpa comes out. Then I will start fighting for Biafra. What say to go? What say to go now? Mbano, show us what you can do. Now that they've taken Nnamdi Kanu for life, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That shows you that the freedom of Biafra people does not depend on anyone. It does not depend on Nnamdi Kanu. It does not depend on Simon Ekpa. Neither does it depend on Dr. Orabueze. It depends on your ability to continue to make sure that that which we've already gotten, which is the United States of Biafra, we protect, we defend it, and we remove the Nigerian terrorists in our land. All of them. That is the only thing. That is the only thing we need to do now so that we can live in our communities very happily, do our businesses in Biafra land, make Biafra land the next Japan in the next 2 or 3 years. That is going to be our dream. We all notice, you all see how they kill, how they destroy the Biafran businesses in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. What other hope do you have? So the United States of Biafra, we've awakened your consciousness. Tinubu has also awakened your consciousness to show you that as long as you're a Biafran, you mean nothing to the terrorists. This is the time for you to show them that you mean something to your people. This is the time to show them you do not want to live in the same country where they reintegrate non-terrorists into the country. This is the time you want to show them that you are a Christian and you have the right to practice your own religion at any time, at any moment, without the fear of being killed by the terrorists brought in by Tinubu and co. This is the time to stop the Nigerian state and their politicians. Forget those positions you are holding right now. Those positions don't matter. The freedom of your people is more important than those positions. The crude oil, the natural reserve, the natural resources we have in Biafra land, it can feed thousands and millions of Biafrans for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Do not compromise that with your momentary wealth. That Nigeria, they gave you oil well and you're making noise, deceiving your people. I'll say it to go. Those of you that we are calling Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu is our leader. Where are you? What are you doing? You're waiting for Dr. Orabueze, right? Was I here before? Some of you say you've been doing this for the past 10 years, 5 years. I'll say it to go. Rise up and do something. Come here something now. Don't call Orabueze. Don't call me. Don't push me. Don't push the United States of Biafra government. I mean, nobody will push any of us. We will walk at our own time, at our own pace. We, the United States of Biafra defense. What can you see? Go and confront Tinubu right now. What's say to go? When I tell the world and tell Biafran people, the restoration and full protection of the United States of Biafra is not a job for the mediocres. People think that it's just talk. No, it's not. No. The discipline that the government needs is very, very important for us to be successful. Without discipline, we can never get Biafra land. And all this noise and maneuvers they've been doing, and these are insiders, or these are Nigerian, these are Biafra agents planted inside this freedom movement. The likes of China Samoru, Benjamin Madubugo, the DOS people, the IPOB organization. These are the entities planted into this freedom by the Nigerian state to make sure Biafra does not come. But we've removed all of them from the government. So those of you that are following them, you need to go and follow them. Leave the United States of Biafra government alone. We don't work with mediocres. We don't move with the mediocres. We have no business with the Nigerian government. We don't listen. We don't hear. We don't even know. Our goals are very, very clear. And that goal is the full protection of the United States of Biafra land. No one can tamper with that, regardless of where you're coming from. Those of you that were doing the bidding of the Nigerian government, those agents planted by the delegitimized governors and politicians in Biafra land, I believe by now you are understanding the game. You now understand the game. You now know that which the Nigerian state and the politicians promise you is not happening, right? Bianco Jukungwa, how far? Where are you? Bringing Nnamdi Kanu out now. The delegitimized governors. Oh yeah, went in now. Peter Obi, I hear the noise they were making, blah blah blah. All these criminals that never ever wanted the restoration of Biafra. And some of you believe them. What say Tigono? Let them do it. Should be the USB. We just came now. We are just the new kid on the block. At least we are just less than 1 year. Those of them that you people have been following for the past 10 years, Orabueze and World Igbo Congress, all organizations that are bought over by the Nigerian state. What say to go? Let them do what they got to do. They told you they know how they've been there right under their watch. Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to death. Those of you following them, go ahead. Go and follow them. The choice is yours. It's either the United States of Biafra government now, or you are with the Nigerian state. No other option. So those of you on the sideline, we are waiting to see your actions. Do not call USB. We are less than a year. Don't stress us. Don't disturb us. Those of you behind the scene for the past 1, 2, 3 years that they've been holding Nnamdi Kanu. What's there to go? The world is watching. We are watching you. It's not you watching us, so we are watching you because you claim you know how to do it best. The USB, you all call us online government, blah, blah, blah. And now say to go, many of you are crying, where's USB? Oh, Dr. Orabueze is not doing anything. What is she doing? But those of you claim you've been doing it for the past 10 years. She just came. Dr. Orabueze just came. How can she just come now and just be the one to decide what we got to do? Why are you turning to Dr. Orabueze? That's not fair now. You, only one NDA for the past 5, 6, 7 years. Go ahead and take over and do it. Go and confront Tinubu and your cabals. Those of you that have been plotting and planning with Tinubu and believing the terrorist state of Nigeria. Now, if we're going to China, you've known there is no way. You all colluded. And let us Simonetta, terrorists and car. All they're wishing by what's it to go? Simonetta is no longer there, right? And you think you're gonna come and stress me? You're not gonna do that. You don't even have the power. You can't even see me. Or stress any of the USB cabinet members, or stress the foreign state governors of Biafra land, or stress the Biafra defense. They never born you well. Do not even try. Don't come near them. Let us be. Don't disturb the Biafrans that are this time under the United States of Biafra government. Don't disturb any of us. Go and follow those you think you said no 9 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. No, Nnamdi Kanu kero. No, double kero no. Go say it. Go down. We are waiting for you. Biafrans are waiting for you because some of you never believed in the United States of Biafra government. Even in our declaration in Finland, some of you fools are still saying, conflicting, trying to confuse people. Oh, declaration was done on December 2. Nothing was done on December the 2nd. December 2nd was our prior plan to declare. But when we got to Finland, we know the Nigerian state was physically present in Finland. The solution and the result was obvious by them removing our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, any of you that does not know that Finland was ready to stop the declaration of our independence nation on December the 2nd. If you don't know that, then that means you're not following. That was why we declared on November the 29th, ahead of that December the 2nd. And when it got to December the 2nd, they have nothing else to do except fight among themselves, except the frustration, except the money they've collected from Tinubu, which now has become useless. We render those money useless. We will continue to render the plots useless. So don't come and stress any Biafran under the United States of Biafra government. You go and do it in that way which you think is the best way. So I thank Biafrans, be steadfast, do not move. Do not be moved. We already got our nation in a way that we baffle Tinubu and their agents. Do not be moved. United States of Biafra is the only hope for Christians and for Biafrans. The only hope. Nothing more, nothing less. Those that were pushing the United States of Biafra defense, those were pushing the United States of Biafra cabinet, those of you pushing the United States of Biafra government to go and do basa bosa with the Nigerian state, you have no clue. You have no clue. But again, I tell you, do not disturb us. Anything you want to do, you are free to do that. But don't bring your headache to the United States of Biafra people and their government. We do our own things at our own time, in our own way.